There are 21 things to do every day in this audiobook, along with stories that will make you see the good in life. If you use this information in your daily life, you will be shocked at how much it helps you. Remember that repeating something helps us change the way we think, so don't just listen to the tape once. Play it over and over again until you feel like you need to. You always have the choice to move forward. I hope the show is fun for you and really helps you. Pick up a notebook and write down the daily action right now before you do anything else. After that, think about it, feel it, and do it. I believe that people were created to do things. He is built to do well and could be very successful. That also includes you. You have a lot of power and can do great things. You may have problems, though, if people have told you your whole life that you don't. If someone keeps telling you that you need help from other people, you will do anything to get it. Folks will start to believe they are right about you if they tell you every day. This, my friend, is called having a garbage can mentality, and it can cause awful things to happen. A lot of parents, about 90%, always worry that their kids will end up in jail. Amy is a 15-year-old girl who always did well in school. Tom Mullen talks about her in his book, Seriously, Life's a Laughing Thing. When she got a little worse, they got more angry. If I fail at what I do, I fail at who I am, Amy tells her parents in her last note as a reason to kill herself. What we remember shapes how we act in the long run. It's too bad that Amy's story keeps coming up. People are important in life because of who they are, not what they have or do. It's not embarrassing to fail. It's embarrassing not to try. You can do great things. If you use the skill you already have, you will learn other skills that are just as useful. The highest being made each of us with our own unique touch. We shouldn't judge our own success by how it stacks up against other people. We should think about what we've done and how well we did it instead. When people use the skills they are given every day to their fullest, they are ranked as number one. Things we think about before bad things happen are much more important than the bad things themselves. This list of daily steps is meant to help you plan, commit, and give yourself to the task. Every day, the first thing I'm going to do is remember how special and unique I am, and I'm not going to wish I had what other people have. I'm going to use my skills to get what I need done. Remember that what you think turns into what you say and do. How about you? What are your main thoughts? There are many things we should be grateful for. It's a great time to live, even though we don't want some things to happen. In the past, things weren't always so great. Life has been hard for people of all ages. Some people today only think about the bad things and forget about the good ones. People could only expect to live 40 years in the past. Today is likely to be above 70. Men wore revolvers on their belts. Toilets were very simple. Giving birth was risky, and the bathroom was behind the house 100 years ago. There are a lot more young people going to college now, better medical care, and a lot of new homes and apartments being made with all the newest features. For the second daily task, write down at least 5 things that you are grateful for, like your children, your partner or husband, your home, your health, the fact that you can breathe or feel, your family in general, or the fact that you have food on the table. Thank God you can start over. You have warm clothes, friends, and the chance to enjoy your surroundings and nature. You have more to be thankful for than that. There are lots more. He said, "When you are grateful, fear goes away and abundance shows up. Being happy is a way of life, not a place you get to. I, like all great people, have to deal with hard times. It doesn't matter where we live or what we do for a job. People are less likely to tell you nice things when you're busy. People who don't try will never have to deal with what other people say. Perhaps not. It won't bother you if you learn how to handle criticism well." In Winston Churchill's office, there was a quote by Abraham Lincoln that said, "I do things to the best of my ability, and I will not stop." If I come out right in the end, whatever is said against me will not matter. If I am wrong, 10 angels saying I was right will not make any difference. During their lives, Churchill, Lincoln, and most famous people today were criticized a lot. Many people don't agree with them, so it takes a lot of guts to do what they really believe is right. Remember that water can't sink a ship if it can't get inside. Do the right thing, stay living, and don't change your mind about what you think. You shouldn't let fear of resistance stop you. Remember that kites do not soar with the wind, but against it. Hamilton Mabel. It is common sense to leave things alone if they are working well. I mostly agree with this point of view. On the other hand, plans need to be changed sometimes everywhere. Something can work with a little surprise. Think about it, and if the situation calls for it, change your mind. It's important to add special things like happiness, energy, kindness, and good thought. Your new way of doing things could be the big surprise that everyone waits for. You'll win because some of them will let down their guard. Third thing I'm going to do today is look for a chance to be creative. If the situation calls for it, I'll change my plans. If you want to succeed, you must blaze new trails rather than travel the old routes of others' successes. John Senior Rockefeller. A strong belief in a goal is one of the most important things in the world. When she was 12, Joan of Arc was living on a farm and thought she would lead the French army against England. It broke my heart that she was so sure of herself. It's important to say it again. One of the most important things in the world is faith in a cause, goal, or aim. It doesn't matter what the problems are or how difficult the problems seem. What makes it possible is believing in a way forward. Ideas and goals can help you stay safe, like a monitor, a pen and paper, or a microphone. What does the sword mean? It could mean patience, not being selfish, or not giving up. I believe that success comes to everyday people who work hard. Remember that I didn't say it would be simple. There aren't many things that are worth praising. Everybody knows that strange things will happen, but the winner is the person who can deal with them with hope and fun. If nothing can be done about a situation, such as being paralyzed, much can be done about our attitude towards such a situation. Mal. Perhaps man, now that he has reshaped his environment, will finally turn around and begin to reshape himself. William Durant. What a person does with his life is not determined by a single event. What counts is how he deals with that event. Everybody is good at something. If I can do it, anyone can. I'm going to think more about what I have than what I don't have every day. Someone once said, "The point of life is not to beat other people, but to beat ourselves." A study at Yale University looked at how much each person's looks, personality, and attitude could change other people's minds over the course of a few weeks. The smile was found to be the most powerful way to change someone's mind. People won't do anything just because you smile, though. It is important to make the point in a way that is clear and works. People who communicate say that the word should be said 3 times, but not so many times that it is heard. It is very important to stress that you must say the word 3 times for it to stick. Some say that the best way to learn something is to do it over and over again. One last easy way to persuade others that most of us have known for a while is worth noting. In this case, being truthful and honest is important. We don't need a college study to know that being honest and true is important. As long as you're trying to sell something, get a job, or get something in front of other people, a nice smile that shows you're serious and honest is hard to beat. The 5th thing I will do today is smile at everyone I see. I will be firm and honest today, and I will succeed. They told him he wasn't helpful and was too slow, so he had to quit college. Even though he had a rough start, he got the license for the rotary steam engine before he turned 20. A machine that could free trains that were stuck was bought by almost every railroad company in the US. This man had made a lot of money by patenting almost 400 ideas before he died. Not many people have been able to beat his work. At the end of his life, he had to use a wheelchair to get around. While he was in it, he kept track of all of his projects and came up with new ideas. Plans for his project were all around him when he died. Building an electric wheelchair was the project. People said this man was stupid and pointless, and his name was George Westinghouse. He didn't care what other people thought of him. He became one of the richest and most brilliant men in history because of this. I hope that everyone will choose to believe in themselves and work hard to reach their goals, even if other people don't. I will not accept negative or limited views today. This is step 6 of my daily plan. Tom's right foot was born without toes. For the New Orleans Saints, Tom Dempsey made a field goal from 58 yards out. It is a well-known goal in the history of American sports. I was lucky, Tom says, adding that his parents helped him get through it. Because I had a problem, my parents didn't tell me what I couldn't do. Those who had to test my health never thought to tell me I couldn't do them. They taught me that my issue was a matter of fact, not an excuse. I could do anything I set my mind to when I was a kid. When things go wrong, people who think, "I believe I can," will get through them much better than those who are afraid of failing. If you want everyone to do something, you should expect them to see their problems and roadblocks as jobs. Act 7 for the day. Today I will only help myself feel good. I will live by the phrase, "I can do it," and I will think about who I am and where I want to go. When man puts a limit on what he will do, he is putting a limit on what he can do. Charles Schwab. Henry Wadsworth Longfellow said, "He who respects himself is safe from others. He wears armor that no one can pierce." He looked sick and was the smallest person in the class. He wore shoes that were made for his feet, a shoulder brace, and thick glasses. He stopped going to school because the way he looked made him feel terrible. He didn't think the future would be good, but an event about health made him decide that the future had to be different from the past. He began working out every day for 2 hours. Things he used to eat that were bad for him changed. He changed how he looked and felt about himself over time. Because things had changed so much, he was able to open one of the first gyms in the US. His name is Jack LaLanne. Jack LaLanne says he was successful because he was able to make changes in his life when he was 15. Making changes in his life wasn't easy. That much he knows. Everyone doesn't like these kinds of changes, but everyone's future can be different from their past. Everyone can make this kind of change. The 8th daily action is to take charge of your own life today. When you are nice to other people, be nice to yourself too. Dr. Lewis L. Mann. 30% of the things we worry about have already happened, and 40% will never happen. Another 1 in 4 of our fears are not based on real health risks. Another 10% are worries about different things that don't lead anywhere. Based on what I've learned in math, that only leaves 8%. Study after study has shown that people worry about nothing 92% of the time. So, I don't think you should stress over things you can't change. I think you should use that energy to do something good. If you're unhappy with your life, the things you think and feel won't help you. Change it now. The phrase should be, less worry, more action, since stress is like a moving chair. It doesn't get you anywhere. Treat people well if you want them to treat you well. I think that if we all help other people get what they want, then we can all get what we want. Those who bring light into the lives of their fellow men will never be in darkness. James Smith. The doctor was wrong, but Harry Perry was wrong even more. He gave up and lived his life as if it were over after being told he had leukemia and would die. He quit his job and didn't want to get married. He lived alone, drank too much, and spent a lot of money on care. His life was empty, even though he wasn't dead or dying. Harry went to the doctor for a test 5 years after being first told he had the disease. He did not have it. He married someone, bought a house, and stopped going to therapy. He feels great about it. The only real thing that has changed is Harry's mood. He did something bad when he thought he was going to die. By himself. When he found out he didn't have the terrible illness, he decided to live his life to the best and make all his dreams come true. It's sad because he had always had everything he needed to be happy and successful. He didn't put them on anymore. We all have them. We just need to use them. The 9th thing I'll do every day is remember what I was born to do. The way I act shows how sure of myself I am. You should never lose hope or faith. They are the 2 most important things in life. If someone thinks they can stay on top by lying, they are crazy. It makes sense and is true to say something like this. You need to be able to tell the difference between right and wrong if you want to live an honest and open life. Number 10 for the day. I will do what I think is right today, even if it gets me into trouble right away. Some things that people really value are a pat on the back, a hug, a kiss, a full moon, or a free parking spot right next to the door of the place they want to go. A cup of coffee, a beautiful sunset, a log fire, and other small things can bring you joy. People can enjoy even better simple pleasures. The chance to travel, vote for anyone we want, and go to church to worship God. We should be grateful for these and many other things that make us happy all the time. Be grateful when life gives you its best gifts. Don't worry if they walk right by you. Enjoy the little things that life gives you. Right now there might not be any big thrills, but there might be some small ones. Open your eyes and look around. As daily action number 11, I will enjoy the little things that make me happy today because I know how much they make me smile. If you continually give your best, the worst will not befall you. B. Story by Larry Wells. Can people who have been to jail do well in business? This is proof that I think so, Larry Wells, who was in charge of the expedition aggrandizement program, said. Most of us would never forget a 15-year prison sentence. However, not for Wells. He showed that he was a man with strong will and a strong belief that good can win over evil. Larry went to Idaho State Prison for 15 years because he was found guilty of trying to rob someone. One simple event changed his whole life, and it changed the lives of hundreds of other young people just like him. A lot of people sent Larry the book, How a Man Thinks, by James Allen, and it changed him a lot. And after reading it, he was sure that people are just what they think they are. Larry stopped having bad thoughts after that, and chose to only have good thoughts from then on. Larry ran the show Expedition Aggrandizement, which taught kids positive ways to think about themselves. Larry Wells has shown that changing the way you think changes the way you live. Everyone thinks the same way that Larry Wells did. A man is what he has in his heart, is something I will remember today, and hold on to the good ideas I have. We need men who dream of things that have never been. John F. Kennedy. That is what I am going to do today. Shakespeare said, "The mind makes things good or bad." The word power can describe how great you are. The term power is one of the biggest words in English. You may already know that we made a whole course called I Can to help people understand how important it is to have faith in their own abilities in order to succeed. Telling someone no before they say I can make all the difference in the world. People who didn't believe in can't were brave, like Edison and the Wright brothers. Let's all say I can instead of can't. 2 letters can make or break your life. Often, the only things that stop us are the ones we set for ourselves. It's much more likely that people will break records and get better results once it's clear that borders are mental limits and not physical ones. There are many ways to get ahead. It can also happen after what looks like an accident. Always be on the lookout for chances if we want our minds to grow. Chances are easy to find and get most of the time. When we think it can be done, we know for sure that it will be. I'm going to break all the rules today. Daily Duty 13. Knowing that no one else can stop me for good, only I can. Napoleon Bonaparte once said, "Impossible is a word that only fools use." From now on, I will speak "I can" instead of "I don't want to" and "I don't know how." People who are physically fit are important, but they are not enough to make a team work. They know that in order to fit in with the other players and form a team, players need to be willing to take comments and learn from it. Are you ready to learn? Would you be a good addition to a team that is going to compete for a championship? Every worker at a company is important for its growth. Do you fully get this? You must be willing to listen and do what you are told if you want to be on a good team. We all need to be willing to hear what professionals have to say and act on it. We can always make our work better, even if we think it's already pretty good. He who walks with wise men will become wise, but he who walks with fools will become broken. Proverbs 13:20. Are you embarrassed by your age? There's a saying that goes, "This world is for the young." Have you heard that before? Yes, the world does belong to the old and even to adults. I will show you that. The world really is yours, no matter what age you are. Before he was 70 years old, Commodore Cyrus Vanderbilt wasn't really into railroads. He ran the biggest train business in the world when he was 88 years old. When Socrates was 80 years old, he began to learn music. When he was 70 years old, Pasteur found a way to help people who were afraid of water. He was over 50 years old when he first went to America. People like Voltaire, Newton, Spencer Talleyrand, and Thomas Jefferson were all very busy and smart in their 80s. Galileo found out about the "Old age is always 15 years older than I am," said Bernard M. Baruch. You can get excited right away. Just change the way you get out of bed in the morning to feel more energized right away. It doesn't mean you should lie on your back, but you shouldn't protest first thing in the morning either. There's good news and bad news about this. There are lots of chances to make the most of today. You might sit up and look a little silly because you'll be messy and half asleep, but you'll be up, which is what you wanted when you set the opportunity clock. You might laugh at yourself, but that's a sign of excitement, and laughing at yourself is a sign of a healthy self-image. You will get things done. Goal 15 for the day. I will be excited when I wake up today and clap my hands and say, "Bravo." Today is a great day to go out and make the most of what life has to give. Someone once said, "Enthusiasm is one of the world's best qualities. It's better than money, power, and influence." If you say yes to these questions, you are well on your way to being successful. The prize of a job well done is to have done it. Ralph Waldo Emerson. That's what I'm going to think about today. How much do I do them? How much do I believe in them? And how much do I love them? People don't usually feel physically tired because they have a physical problem. Instead, they feel mentally tired, which is also called having a dumpster mentality. For the sample, a button. This is a sample that is mostly aimed at men. It's been one of those days when everything that could go wrong has. Frustrations have been building up all day, and by the time they get home, the poor victim is almost on all fours. "What promise?" the poor man asks, as his wife greets him with joy and good humor and tells him how happy she is that he kept his promise, to which his wife answers that she kept her promise 6 weeks ago to clean out the garage. His wife says that her husband is too tired to do such a thing. His wife asks to help, but he says he can't do anything. The phone rings, and a man's voice says, "Hey, buddy, I'm booked at the club in 15 minutes. Suddenly, the half-dead guy from a minute ago is fully awake and ready to go. This happens 1,000,000 times a day for a simple reason. If you admit you're tired, you use up even more energy. All you have to do is think about how much fun it will be to be. What do you do when someone lets you down? Edgar looked forward to the mailman coming every day. Finally, the mailman came with a package. When Edgar opened it, he was shocked and angry to find a ventriloquism course inside. He was so mad that he was going to return the book right away, but he changed his mind and went to see what he could do with it, since he had already bought it. Either the stairs or the elevator to success. The elevator to success is full and will never work again, so everyone who wants to move up has to take the stairs. If you are willing to climb those stairs one at a time, I promise you that you will be seen at the top, reaching success. Daily action number 18. Today I will remember that there is no free lunch, and that if I make it to the top, it will be because I worked hard. Do you win or lose? Undoubtedly, the greatest destructive force in our lives is given by the negative use of our imagination. Most people tend to visualize what they do not want, like, for example, a headache, a cold, not getting the lottery number right, and even not finding a place to park the car. Losers think in terms of lack or loss. Winners think in terms of success and winning. As the old saying goes, whether you think you can or you can't, you're right. Daily action number 19. Today I will dedicate myself to thinking like a winner, focusing on what I want to accomplish and thinking about success and winning. I will keep in mind that I will be rewarded in direct proportion to my efforts, so I will perform at my best. The greatest reward that life can offer is to give us the opportunity to work hard, to accomplish something worth accomplishing. Theodore Roosevelt. He who fears to be defeated can count on suffering defeat. Napoleon Bonaparte. No man can go beyond the limitations of his own character. Robespierre. The depressed mood has been described as the noxious art of doing nothing. Depression is the feeling that life is futile, that there is no remedy, and that nothing is worthwhile. We've all had times in our lives when we don't think anything good will happen. You know the ones when you can't see any way out of a mess and there isn't even a beam of light in the darkness. Did you know that you can control these feelings? Your thoughts control your actions, and your actions control your thoughts. Keep this in mind as you think about these 3 tips. First, remember that all sadness comes from disgust, and most of the time that disgust is directed at someone. Think about the bad times in your life. If you are mad or angry at more than one person, tell them you forgive them and ask them to forgive you. Second, get your life in order. Small things that aren't done can make you depressed. Write down what you need to do and do it. Each thing you finish will make you feel better. Third, try to help someone else. Sometimes, when we help someone else solve their problem, our own problem gets solved too. It's true that everyone can get what they want in life as long as they help others get what they want. If hard work and dedication help you succeed in one area, they will definitely help you succeed in many others as well. Daily action number 20. Today I will assume the obligation to work as hard as necessary to achieve my goals. I will keep in mind that what I do demonstrates who I am, and I will proceed accordingly. Character is, quite simply, continuous habit. Absolute success is not bought outright. Rather, it is achieved by the quota system. We all have opportunities. You will certainly face a problem today, even if it is uncorking a bottle of ketchup. I define these situations as opportunities rather than problems. Managing and resolving these opportunities is part of daily living. We encounter them and their full range of possibilities from the time we get up until the time we go to bed. We come to live mature and successful lives when we learn to handle these opportunities quickly and without fanfare. The mother of 3 young children manages, hour after hour in her home, a large number of very varied opportunities with equal expertise. The ability to solve opportunities becomes an important part of our character as we mature. In fact, our value, from the point of view of ourselves and others, is in direct proportion to the number and size of the problems we are able to solve on a daily basis. So when those opportunities present themselves, consider yourself lucky and take the time to solve them correctly. Learn the skill of quick analysis, and remember, if there were no problems in your company, your position probably wouldn't be necessary. Most work is about clearing obstacles. Daily action. 21. I will see every problem as a chance to learn and learn how to solve them better. I will also get ready to take every chance that comes my way today, because chances grow when they are grabbed and die when they are missed. What is it about television? Everything counts. My objections to television are not only based on the sadly poor quality of the programming, they are also due to the fact that the screen exerts a hypnotic power over most people. It is a terrible enslavement of the mind, and as Aristotle warned us long ago, the worst thing about slavery is that in time the slaves come to like it. Sidney J. Harris. I am convinced that people have to enjoy life, no matter how busy one may be. There is always time to be in two possible states of mind, happy or miserable. You may not be aware of this. When you woke up, you made the decision to be happy or miserable. A little girl named Patricia wrote, "Happiness is being warm under the blankets on a cold night. Happiness is simply being happy." June Calvo relates that historian Will Durant tried to find happiness in knowledge and found only disappointment. Then he sought happiness in travel and found only weariness. In money, he found only discord and worry. He sought happiness in his writings and found only fatigue. One day he saw a lady waiting in an automobile with a child in her arms, asleep in her lap. A man descended from the train, approached and gently kissed first the lady and then the child, gently so as not to wake him. The family drove away in the automobile, leaving Durant with a wonderful discovery. Every ordinary activity in life has a certain charm. In your pursuit of happiness and success, don't neglect your backyard. Also, don't forget that life is like a kiss. To find pleasure in it, you have to give it to someone. The fool seeks happiness in the distance. A smart person plants it under their feet. James Oppenheim.